So guys, welcome back to the final lesson of chapter number 3, or the third chapter. This lesson will be now handle the topic Redshift proxies. So we'll do like a whole mineral world, and then we will, what I mentioned in the last video, we will go over some more materials now. So what I really like to do in this kind of environment with crystals or minerals, try to use glass. So, and we will do that for now. Let's find a cool angle here, like that. Get a focus running. Okay, 0.1, 0.05. That's pretty easy, so just get RS material and pipe it into the second one, so basically the layer color, and we can use tinted glass. And if you use that, you will quickly get a lot of real nice refractive detail, but of course it will need a little bit longer to render. A cool thing is what you can do, like with the curvature here. Let's just copy that, and you can use that for the transmittance. So I think that is also like a really cool trick to get different colors. So for now, like purple and slight orange in here, and try to basically experiment with that reflective color scheme. And again, of course, fully up to you what color you will choose, or what distribution you choose, or refractive index. I think for the refraction index you can go a little bit higher, for example. So currently we are at 1.51. You can, for example, use 0.81 and just experiment with that. So again, fully up to you. And I think you will get pretty cool results with that. So try out the glass. Of course, it will need longer to render. Okay, let's go back to our initial material here. And now what I want to do, I want to set up our proxies. So we can start with that now. Dive inside, and I will use the first iteration for proxy rendering. And we will use that. And we will need to place down our Redshift proxy output. So place it down, connect it, and go on the archive tab, and we will of course pipe that out. So let's just, I already did that, but I will just overwrite the file. So I named it rs_proxy_001.rs accept, and I will hit render to disk, and we can pipe that out then. So it's now rendered to the disk. And what we can do now, we can just devisualize the geo mineral, and we will place down a proxy. So go to the shelf tab and press proxy, and you will end up with this little geometry file here. And on the Redshift OBJ, on the proxy tab, you can now load your proxy in here. And for example, you will get a representation in a bounding box. You can also choose like mesh representation. Of course, for higher copying or for higher geometries, mesh representation will be slower. You can use point representation or just a normal bounding box. So we got now our proxy, but what we want to do now is to scatter the proxy and randomize it a little bit. So I will dive back in here, and I will just copy our create p scale, and I will place down an instance. So an instance, and I will rename it to Redshift proxy. Let's call it I, for instance. Redshift proxy, yeah, let's just call it instance. And what I want to do, I want to dive inside, copy our create p scale, and just delete the add node. We don't need that. Then I will place down a sphere here, and what I want to do is place after the sphere points from volume. Points from volume, and we will end up with basically a lot of points, but I don't want too much points, so just get that to 1. Yeah, 3 points. Yes, let's get more points. 0.85, here 7 points. Let's go a little bit lower. So we now created 7 points here. Let's get the point size a little bit more bigger. And I want to increase the jitter scale, so it's not that uniformal created. And pipe that into the p scale. And another thing what we can do, is an attribute randomize. And with the randomize, I will call it rand n for normal, so just a quick rotation randomization inside sphere. And now when we jump up, disable the display flag on our Redshift proxy, go to instance object, we'll just drag and drop that in here, and full point instancing, and now you can see that. And when you pin your viewport in here, and now you can, for example, influence the scale, influence how many we want, so currently 11, influence the scale, min max, seed, and of course rotation. So now we did that, and now what we can do, we can try out a first rendering. So let's do, I think the light setup is good for now, the single light setup, but I will make it a little bit bigger, and let's go for a little bit of a better light setup. So I will just use one more light in the back to get like a rim light effect, and we will see how we will need to influence the light that it will look good. So this is now our backlight, and this is our side light. So I will just do a quick rendering on that now. Render view, and that should start right away. Yes. Oh, and it's why is it? It's on bucket rendering. Let's just re-enable the rendering and place our focus. And now you can see we've got like, these are like I don't know, 1 million, 1.5 million per instance polygons, multiplied by I think 17 points now. So we got like rough more than 10 million instanced polygons here. Of course they're instanced, but we can do that, we can drive that much further. But I think that looks also already pretty cool, and you can see like the rim light does a good job. And now we can maybe just zoom in here a little bit to get a closer look up. And now it's time for some lighting. So for the back lighting, of course you can get it pretty high, but I just will just use exposure of 0. And for the color, you can use, for example, warmer color. So try that out. Looks pretty cool. Just give it a little bit of a warm tint, or you can use, of course, your temperature slider. That's fully up to you. So let's go for the temperature slider, and I will get down. Of course you can use a colder color, but I will just stick with a little bit warmer color here. Something like that. Cool. Now for the material that is currently from proxy. What we also can do from OBJ node, and we can pipe that one in here. So go to render, OBJ node, and now I think it's connected. And now we can change our color here. Let's just refresh the render view. Yes. Oh my god, okay, that looks cool. Nice. And now you can try out, of course, different patterns, different distributions, like that one, different colors. So I think that looks pretty cool. And of course that's now like one iteration, but we can go further. Of course we will go further. I will just copy the instance here, and let's see, let's have a look. We will go smaller. So, let's just pin that. We will go smaller in the size, but we will go bigger with the sphere. And these are now a lot more proxies, and let's have a look how that will look. And it will be fairly pretty fast. Of course we can pipe that up. So now we got like, let's go for 100 points, so we got like 100 million instance polygons. Like 200. Yeah, just like that. And let's have a look how that will look. And of course it will handle it with ease. And of course that's like now like a whole I will just copy the camera here, like a whole mineral world. And of course for the camera now you can go for a little bit more wider angle focal length. Just use that, and now you can see the whole beauty of it, but we can zoom in here. And the cool thing is, with this kind of technique you will get this you will get this like how can I say it? You will get like a cool or pretty good distribution of your minerals. And of course the depth of field is maybe too shallow here. So let's decrease it a little bit. Let's just increase it again, like that. And of course the color choice, fully up to you again. You can use glass, for example, but I think that will render much more longer, but I think it will look pretty cool. Another thing for materials, what you can do, what I usually also like to do, and what we already did in I think chapter 2, is like to get a subsurface material involved. So let's just create a new one, RS material, pipe it in here. Mount 1, radius scale 0.1 or 0.0.5, and now you can play around with that. So that will quickly look like a yeah, maybe like a mushroom field. So just try it out, don't be shy. And yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Let's go back to that one. And so now you know how to set up proxies, how to set up this like mineral world. And please try shading try out different start geometries, try out noises, and so on and so on. And with your work done, you can share it via Instagram or send me an email, hit me up. So this is the third chapter, and I will see you in the final chapter with vellum simulation and vellum fabric rendering. And yeah, I will see you in the next chapter.